What's happening everyone, TomGorian here and welcome back to episode number 5 of the F1 23 Haas to Glory Driver Career Mode series. Today we're getting ready for the infamous Monaco Grand Prix episode of Career Mode. This is the episode we've been waiting for because of our chassis upgrades. And I feel like I owe it to myself and everyone watching this video that I at least do one Monaco episode per Career Mode series. So, if you like people like me suffering around the streets of Monaco, then make sure you hit the like button and you also subscribe to the channel for more F1 23 Career Mode and also F1 23 gameplay. So, this is it. This is the video that we are doing. Monaco. This is the episode that we've been building towards ever since the beginning of the series, simply because of our chassis and where we started with a chassis. We are now solidly the 5th best team, and now we've got 2 upgrades coming to the chassis and 1 major aerodynamics upgrade coming for the next race. Check out the previous video in the link in the description and maybe even the annotations, because we won the Miami Grand Prix, and that is still very weird that I'm saying that. I literally won the Miami Grand Prix. So hopefully that was just a one-off, and also follow the playlist as well to pretty much experience the entire Career Mode journey from beginning to end. So the Monaco Grand Prix, we've literally just been doing chassis upgrades because this track is literally all about the chassis. The better the chassis, the better the turning because of slow corners. And yeah, it's literally going to be a max downforce circuit. You need all the downforce you can get here, and the only way you can overtake is pretty much strategy, let me just say. So that's the only way you can try and overtake around here. So it makes sense that the upgrades that we're trying to do is really based on aerodynamics and also the chassis. As you can see, 6 aerodynamics and 7 chassis. We're going to try and see if we can go for an improved energy cell load upgrade, but I don't think we have enough ERS or enough resources to get that upgrade. We did get an aerodynamics spec 2 level upgrade from Haas, so that's kind of impressive. I don't know what the actual upgrade was, if it was quality control or whatever, but we got that upgrade from Haas, and we've also got a plank upgrade as well, which will help with the weight redistribution with the chassis. Pretty much Francesco was telling me about the facility upgrade, to check my miles, but I didn't get anything from my mail, so I'm wondering if that was just nothing. So we're going to enter this Monaco Grand Prix weekend with now, from an aerodynamic standpoint, solidly in the midfield, as we now try and close the gap between us and the other front-running teams. We get 400 resource points on the lead up towards Monaco, and as you can see, we're slowly but surely starting to close the gap to Mercedes, and there is confirmation of the plank upgrade. The next upgrade that we're going to try and do is the fuel tank positioning and also the energy cells as well, which is literally weight redistribution. That, I believe, is a major upgrade, and that will cost literally 1,400 resource points, so hopefully we'll probably get that upgrade on for the Canadian Grand Prix. But we can get a wing mirrors upgrade on before the Spanish Grand Prix, so hopefully with the rushed upgrade we can try and get that wing mirrors upgrade sorted. We now get asked a question for a department event. It's about merch or stick with the current lines. It's pretty much literally we're going to lose 50k, and we have to make a choice between either making a new t-shirt or making a new rain jacket. And since we're entering literally the summer of Europe, we're going to literally get a new team shirt because everyone's going to wear t-shirts at Spain and in Canada and at the other summer races. So here it is. I've been holding off. It's time for the Monaco Grand Prix. Alright then, so Monaco Grand Prix, here we go. So this track is literally about confidence, and if you don't have any confidence around here, you're not going to exact the lap time. The car did feel awful in practice, especially FP1 and FP2 when I was literally doing the practice programs. But for some reason in qualifying, that's where this car just literally came alive. The car did feel very understeery, especially in high-speed corners. I don't know if that's just me, or if that's like an F123 thing with setups, but I was literally messing around with the setups just to see what works around Monaco, and I think I'm starting to get the meta setup information when it comes to this game. But yeah, literally coming through the tunnel, it's a green sector 1. To be honest, I'm not really expecting anything major. Look, if we can finish, let's say outside top 10, maybe 11th or 12th, or if we're lucky, probably 8th or 9th, that will do well. But apparently, according to the track map, we are literally purple sector 1 and sector 2 as we enter Raskas and now in towards the final corner of Anthony Nogues. You have to turn in a little bit early than normal, but as you can see, across the line we go. We do a 1 minute 11.697, and we are literally on pace with Max Verstappen. Track evolution now, literally in the final lap. We had a DRS failure, and that literally ruined the entire lap. And as you can see, we didn't improve by a 10th. But good news, it is 5th place for the Monaco Grand Prix, and that is actually really good considering the fact that you can't really overtake around here. So with qualifying out the way, we have to defend our position.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That's how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but we still race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean. There is no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long circuit. Cars will climb around 40 metres up the hill, past the casino, and then descend towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of 19 corners, so don't expect to see much overtaking here today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Thomas, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, Ocon, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Bottas, Magnussen, Norris, Albon, Joe, Tsunoda, De Vries and Logan Sargent. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And we welcome Anthony Davidson to the commentary box once again. And how does the driver set themselves apart from the rest of the pack today?
My focus is 100% on the front of the grid. Like you said, we're seeing a lot of strong competition across those positions, so it would be super interesting to see the fight for that front spot. Personally speaking, I'm hoping for plenty of overtakes.
So, here we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's going to be sunny conditions all race weekend long, unlike the real life race where literally the second half was literally raining. I wished there could have been rain, just so this video would have been a little bit more spicier as far as weather conditions are concerned. But yeah, it's Monaco. So, literally, the meta around here is to try and undercut, especially on F123. The undercut is very powerful on any track. Never mind Monaco, just on any track, but also track position. And in order to make an undercut work, you need the space. And as far as the space is concerned, we need a gap. And I think if we can get a gap between, let's say, 12th or 13th or 14th, where we've got literally 2 seconds or a second at least to the car behind, and maybe 3-4 seconds to the car in front, that is all the room we need to work with to try and make the undercut strategy kind of work. And plus, it's Monaco, safety cars, anything can happen. There's no red flags in this version of the series, just simply because of the red flag glitch, so red flags are turned off. As far as the strategy is concerned, it's a simple one-stop. I was messing around with the two-stop to see if, you know, the two-stop actually somehow works around Monaco, but literally it doesn't. So the strategy is literally mediums to hards, and as you can see, there's confirmation that all of the other drivers are going at least mediums or hards. You'll notice I did mess around with the fuel a little bit. I literally put -1 lap, and that will actually come back to bite me, because Monaco actually kills fuel to the point where later on in the race you're going to see me literally save a lot of fuel. But here we go, formation lap.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. As the cars come back to the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that within the points.
You never want to mess around Monaco. You never want to try and push when you can't really push with the track conditions. But we are in a golden opportunity to try and get a podium here at the streets of Monaco. As long as we get a good start and hold position against George Russell, Perez, and others, we could be in a mega position for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. It's the Principality here in Monaco. It's the Monaco Grand Prix for 5 red lights. We are lights out and underway here in the streets of Monaco, and it's a good start from us there. We're going to jump, actually, Fernando Alonso in towards turn 1, around the outside, in towards turn 1, and we've actually got the grip and the traction, and that is us into third place already on the first lap. And guess what? It's a Ferrari 1-2 here in Monaco. Is it 2002 or is it 2023? I have no idea, because Carlos Sainz leads Charles Leclerc in a Ferrari 1-2, and actually, speaking of Ferrari engines, it's a 1-2-3 because Haas is literally Ferrari engine. So, for the first time ever, I do believe, it's a Ferrari 1-2-3 at Monaco. So, now, we're in third position, and the goal is to try and just stick with Charles Leclerc and try and build the gap between us and Fernando Alonso. We understand that we are literally in a train of cars that are quicker than us. But literally, the gaps weren't that mad. The gaps weren't coming down. They were slightly extending just a little bit, and as you can see, we are pulling literally 4 attempts on the next lap to Fernando Alonso simply with DRS. But as you can see, literally the Nobel chicane, that's where we're gaining all the time, and simply because we are abusing that apex, and we're getting a better exit compared to Charles Leclerc. And that's how we're sticking with Charles compared to literally getting DRS. And as you can see, once again, we literally gain around about 3-4 attempts. And I don't know what it is with F123 AI. They're very slow when it comes to like chicanes and just not using the curbs. And I do believe that it's simply because of my setup and the fact that I can literally get a better exit coming in towards that chicane, as we're going to try and go down the inside of Charles Leclerc on lap 16. But there's a bit of contact there on the side pod on the floor. We nearly lose the back end twice, but we've actually made the move work. And now we are in second place here at the Monaco Grand Prix. And now we're going to try and go for the race win as we oh god, that's a lot of understeer in towards the final corner as we make our box, and Charles Leclerc actually follows us through. So it's now a battle of the pit crews, me versus Ferrari, and that is a good turn in. I literally timed that was 0.7. That nearly cost us position to Charles Leclerc, by the way. I thought that was perfect, but clearly not, so we're going to have to go slightly later by a tenth on the pit lane button. There's Gasly. We have to try and get ahead of him, because if we don't, that might actually cost us the race win. Here at Monaco, it's side by side between us and Pierre Gasly as we go up the hill in towards Casino, and we just hold on towards Pierre Gasly. And now Gasly is going to hold up Charles Leclerc, and Charles Leclerc cannot get DRS. So that's one Ferrari. That's literally cleared. And as you can see on lap 20 of this race, there's Carlos Sainz. As you can see, Lance Stroll's on the left-hand side. We're going to try and go down the inside of Stroll. And literally, we've literally half the gap between us and Carlos Sainz as we head up the hill. And if it wasn't for Stroll holding us up there in the final sector, we could have actually overtaken Sainz, but Sainz is now being held up by Esteban Ocon, and we get a mega run out of that chicane. He actually turns in on us in towards the back corner. We take the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix, literally a week after we won our first race in Miami, and we are now back on the top step of the podium. But now, this is where the concerning thing is. So look at the fuel. We have 0.0 laps of fuel, to the point where now we have to literally lift and coast for the remaining 4 laps of this Monaco Grand Prix. And literally, I don't know how we didn't lose position, but we had to literally lose so much time. As you can see, look at the time we're doing. 1:17s. We're 3 seconds slower than our fastest lap, literally, of this entire race. We are doing a Daniel Ricciardo simulation right now of his race win in 2018, because we now have to save so much fuel. So if we can get in towards, what, 0.18 or 0.20, we should be good. And as you can see, entering the Noble Chicane, we are fine for fuel. So we can now push towards the end of this race, and this is some type of joke, isn't it? We came to Miami last week with all these upgrades, and we were able to gap the field by at least 14 seconds. Now we come to the streets of Monaco, and we've literally mugged off both Ferraris. Around the final corner, I can't believe we're saying this, a Haas is actually going to win the Monaco Grand Prix. I can't believe this. Unbelievable.
Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
The quality and fantastic result of the Haas team will have been noticed by everyone out there today. You can see why everyone's taking them so seriously. These drivers will be hot property by the end of the season.
Back-to-back race wins in this first season of F1 23 career mode. I did not expect this at all. I thought literally if we got a good start, we might have gotten probably 4th, maybe 3rd, because the pace of the Ferraris and maybe the Mercedes and even the Aston Martins were going to be too much for us. But as long as we score points, that's fine. And now, we've literally scored 2 race wins in the last 2 races at 2 complete different circuits. And that's very crazy. I'm going to have to make some changes towards this career mode series, because clearly the AI are easier on this year's game compared to what they were last year. We have to go to ultimate difficulty now, because this is getting ridiculous. 51 points. And now we are only 30 away from Max Verstappen. Kevin Magnussen finished in 12th here at Monaco, but it's not really about Kevin, it's about us. This is mad. I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe if I found like the ultimate meta and setups. But yeah, we did a 14 flat compared to Sergio Perez 13-3. Yeah, that's Monaco. 2 race wins. Unbelievable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. In a bit.